And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live, kicking off a brand new week. We're on the road today at the Will Graham headquarters in Johnson City, Tennessee. Why are we here? Because it's coming up, the event that we've been talking about since January. Will Graham's celebration coming in this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, that'll be happening right up the road at Freedom Hall here in Johnson City. So we're going to be talking about that to several folks throughout the show. But we've got a Power Pack Sports Show. We got college football. We've got the NBA. We've got the National Hockey League. Certainly Mike Hedrick joins us later on from Northern Virginia. He's back in the saddle after a week off, getting a little R&R, and we certainly understand that, as he'll be telling us about what looked to be, what turned out to be, in my humble opinion, a very boring race. It was not much excitement except the guy named Busch wins his third straight. We will show you and tell you there's, 8 other drivers who won 4 in a row. And it's interesting. Went back, and we'll go through that coming up here in a few minutes or in a little while. Mike's with us on the show. It was interesting that the drivers that went back and won 4 in a row, not one single driver out of those 4 straight, any of those drivers that won 4 in a row back in the day, the other 8 drivers, which is Kyle Busch's goal this weekend to win at Talladega, none of the other 8 drivers had Talladega as one of the tracks they won at in that 4 in a row string, which I thought was very, very interesting because it's the super speedway. It's always the home of the big one, the big crash. And so, but I will say that 2 of those drivers, out of the 8 that have won 4 in a row, 2 of those drivers, one of those 4 races in a row came at Bristol. We'll tell you who did that as well. So all that coming up top of the hour. Again, Joe Gibbs Racing re-upping with Toyota. Mike tell you all about that. So we got lots to cover. Of course, as we said, we roll into Talladega this weekend. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the defending champ of the race on the Cup side. On the Xfinity side will be Elliott Sadler. So we'll have lots to talk about. Mike will join us today. And of course, Friday we'll be on the road at Food City at State of Franklin here in Johnson City. If you've not been there, the new Food City, the newest Food City, it's not really new, but it looks new, and it's the newest one here in the Tri-Cities. But nonetheless, they've cleaned out and moved out the salad bar, and so they have replaced it with a huge in-store, standing stores-in-a-store Starbucks. And so we'll talk all about that coming up again here as we'll be on the road at Food City on State of Franklin and Johnson City, always pushing the needle. And so now they've incorporated Starbucks inside their stores. I think this is a prototype. It's going to be the first of many around the region. So good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. Again, we always start our show by dedicating it to the man who hung on the cross unashamedly. Today's verse of the day out of the book of Romans. Romans 8:27 and 28 says, "Love me, and I will see to it that all things work together for your good. For I know the mind of my spirit. I am constantly interceding for you according to my will." Again, love me, and I will see to it that all things work together for your good. For I know the mind of my spirit. I am constantly interceding for you according to my will. Do want to say a big shout out to the folks at State Line Baptist Church. We were there yesterday, did our Gideon report, and so I always love going out and helping raise money for Bibles to be distributed around the world. So a big thank you to a very receptive audience. Again, the great folks at State Line Baptist Church in Kingsport, thank you for allowing us to be there yesterday. And so we had the 2 little ones in tow, and then we had other folks in tow with us as well. So we had a good time. And so thank you again to State Line Baptist Church. All right, so here is what's going on. The musical lineup is unbelievable coming up for this event. Starting on Friday night with the Adoration Band at 7 o'clock. Aaron Shust will be there at Friday and Sunday. Kids Fest, Claudia Bird stops by in a few minutes from Speedway Children's Charities. Well, another hat she's put on, in addition to raising money for the kids for Speedway Children's Charities. She's volunteering her time for Kids Fest coming up on Saturday at 10:30 right outside of Freedom Hall as a part of the Will Graham celebration. Also musically, Crowder's going to be there Saturday evening. Sunday, Ellie Holt, yes, the Crowder. Somebody asked me yesterday, said, the Crowder? I said, yep, the Crowder. He'll be there in concert on Saturday evening at 7 o'clock. Ellie Holcomb will be there Sunday at 4. Other folks locally, the Moore Brothers Band, Jennifer Trent, April Taylor Barnes, and of course a gospel message with Will Graham each evening. Free admission, doors open an hour prior to the event, and so all this is going on with the Will Graham celebration here at Freedom Hall. I blurred that real quick. There it is, Will Graham celebration. You've probably seen the billboards all over the Tri-Cities. Hear the gospel message from the grandson of the late Dr. Billy Graham, and of course the son of Franklin Graham with Samaritan Spurs. So that's where we are, but we got sports, and we will take a quick break, come right back. We'll jump in, talk to you about Major League Baseball. Give you the standings starting the new week. Reds still dismal. Goodness gracious. Jim Riggle, the new manager of the Reds, couldn't get anything turned around. He's still 0-3. 0-3 coming out of the gate. And so we'll take a look at Major League Baseball coming up next. We're on the road again at the Will Graham Celebration headquarters in Johnson City. Coming up tomorrow, we'll be at Phil's Dream Pet. Can't wait. Wednesday, we'll be at Chick-fil-A. Can't wait. Then on Thursday, we're going to be at Freddy's this week. Can't wait. Something about me booking eating joints. And then on Friday, as we said earlier, Food City on State of Franklin in Johnson City. Hello to Betty Perry. Hello to April Lawson. Hello to Candace Winters. Hello to David Roop. And hello to Kathy Dingus. Thanks for being with us here on the show. Quick break. We'll talk baseball next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
The savings continue the month of April at Max Medismart in Kingsport. All natural factors, 20% off the entire month of April. Products like folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules to lose weight, vitamin B12, Stress Relax, which are tranquil sleep chewables, all 20% off the month of April. Easy Iron, niacin tablets, vitamin C, calcium, over 100 different supplements of natural factors, all 20% off the month of April. No coupons, no limits. A flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in April at Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max. Center Street in Kingsport, where natural factors are 20% off the month of April at Max Medicine Mart.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax and Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Hey, back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Monday Live, the Will Graham Celebration headquarters in Johnson City. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball from yesterday. Your winners, the Indians, the Yankees, the Royals, the Rays, the Phillies in 11 over the Pirates. The Brewers doubled up the Marlins, Astros, the Cardinals, the Rangers, the Cubbies, Oakland beating the Red Sox again. That's kind of a statement game, I think. Also, you have the Giants winners, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Braves rained out, postponed due to bad weather in Atlanta. The Phillies are surging. Let's give you the standings again going into the action for this week. In the National League East, the New York Mets a half game better than the Phillies in the East and the Central. The Cardinals have caught fire. They're now 13-8. They've tied Milwaukee for the top spot. Pittsburgh continues to slide ever so slowly down through the standings. So the Cardinals and Milwaukee tied for the lead heading into this week's action. In the West, it's Arizona with a 4-game lead over the Colorado Rockies. In the American League, best team in baseball right now, no question, the Boston Red Sox, even though they lost yesterday, still 17-4. They're 4 games better than Toronto in the American League East. Also in the Central Division, Cleveland a game and a half better than Minnesota. Detroit 2.5 back. And in the West, the defending world champion Houston Astros a game and a half ahead of the Los Angeles Angels in the American League West. So schedule today looks like this. First off in the National League, the Braves will be in Cincinnati taking on the hapless Cincinnati Reds, the worst team in baseball. They're 3-18. Terrible. I mean, and as I've said all season, all show long, since the start of the Major League season, and I'm being serious, if you want to go watch a Major League Baseball game, you don't want to pay a whole lot of money, you want to go to Cincinnati because the tickets will be, time you get into July, these guys aren't any better, and why would they, there's no reason why they would be. They're 10 games out already. I'm telling you, you can go watch a Reds game in Cincinnati. It'll probably cost you more to drive up there than it will to get the tickets. I'm telling you. They'll be for the offing because the Reds organization will reach the point where it's like, God, just get somebody in here to come to the game, because even with an empty seat for $4 or $5 ticket or whatever, we may make the money off the concession stand or a souvenir or whatever. So anyway, Reds tonight hosting Atlanta, San Diego opening up a series in Colorado, the Dodgers home to Miami, and the Washington Nationals continue their West Coast swing. They'll move from LA down to San Francisco to battle the Giants again in San Francisco. In the American League, everything under the lights tonight. Cleveland of Baltimore, Minnesota taking on the Yankees in New York, Oakland of Texas, the LA Angels in Houston. That's head-to-head, 1 versus 2 in the American League West. Angels in Houston, and Seattle taking on the White Sox in Chicago. The Phillies are surging. Phillies edging the Pirates in extra innings on Sunday, and doing so completing a 4-game sweep of their in-state rivals. They haven't done that since 1994. The Buccos have now lost 6 out of 7 after their hot start of the season, and you get the feeling that they are returning back to earth after a big start for Pittsburgh, after they cleaned out the team basically in the offseason. The Phils have ripped off 11 wins in the last 13 games. They're now 7 games over 500 for the first time since May of 2016. The Reds, meanwhile, as we said, are not surging. They lost again to the Cardinals on Sunday. Interim manager Jim Riggleman now 0-3. Reds have lost 5 straight, 12 of the last 13. The Reds, by the way, here's a stat that you would not want to be proud of. You're a Reds fan. The Reds are the 8th team to win 3 or fewer games in their first 21 games played. The Reds are the 8th team to win 3 or fewer games in the first 21 games played since 1900. Whew. Bad. Astros complete the destruction of the White Sox over the weekend, 10-0, 10-1, 7-1. That's a combined score of 27-2. They've lost 12 out of the last 13. The White Sox. Astros, meanwhile, are 16-7 in first place in the American League West. And again, they open up a big series again tonight against Albert Pujols and the Los Angeles Angels. We're live at the Will Graham headquarters coming up. In a few minutes, we'll talk to our buddy Darius Hensley about what's going on at the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina. We'll talk to him coming up here in a few minutes. Also, at the bottom of the hour, Claudia Bird joins us talking about Kids Fest coming up this Saturday at Freedom Hall in conjunction with the Will Graham celebration. And so she'll be by here in a few minutes. Yes, the same lovely Claudia Bird and Handle Speedway Children's Charity. She'll be with us here coming up in a little while. Orioles shortstop Manny Machado headed for free agency, making a statement. How about this? This guy hitting .337, 7 doubles, 6 homers, 15 RBIs, 11 runs in 21 games. Again, a 2-run home run ball game yesterday against the Indians and Corey Kluber. 3rd time this season, Machado's hit 2 home runs in the game. He's got 5 homers in the past 4 games. This guy's red hot, making a statement. And if the Orioles can't get it turned around, I would think you'll see him being unloaded by the All-Star break and start doing a fire sale for the Orioles and kind of clean house. We'll see. Last but not least, in Major League Baseball, the Giants and the Angels got together yesterday. Did you see it was a Major League record 21 pitch at bat? Brandon Belt, 21 pitches, 11 of them fouled off. This guy hung in there. You know, the pitcher, Jamie Barrera, probably wore his arm out just against Belt. 21 pitches. Again, ended up being a belt lined out to right field, but 21 pitches. That's an all-time Major League Baseball record for pitches in a single plate appearance. 21 pitches he went through before he got what he wanted, and what he did when he got it was he fouled it off, or I should say lined it down the right field line. Again, your schedule for today in the Bigs, you have Atlanta, everything under the lights. The Reds hosting Atlanta, San Diego at Colorado, Miami against LA, the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium, and the Nationals in San Francisco. In the American League, Cleveland and Baltimore, Minnesota at New York, Oakland at Texas, the Los Angeles Angels in Houston. Again, Cole for the Astros, and Skaggs will go for the Angels, and Seattle will be in Chicago against the White Sox. Everything under the lights tonight in Major League Baseball. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll have our buddy Darius Hensley come by and visit with us for a few minutes. Let us know what's going on in the Cove in Asheville, North Carolina. And following that, we will come right back and keep on trucking. We've got Major League Baseball we covered. We've got high school baseball scheduled today. I'm going to go ahead and make a call that we've got rain and wind, and we're supposed to be playing at Unicoi County today, and so we'll see. I guess we still can, but I would guess that game's going to be postponed. It's not been made official, but we are scheduled to play a big showdown between the Cyclones, who've won 4 in a row, against the Unicoi County Blue Devils, playing for first place in the Three Rivers Conference. So we're scheduled to go 7 o'clock, 6:45 first airtime, 7 o'clock first pitch. If I'm a betting man, and I don't, if I'm a gambling man, hello, Ricky Walters. Good morning, my good friend, watching the show. If I was a bet man, and I'm not, I would say we're not playing baseball tonight, but that's not been made official. Hello to Chip Pratt in Cincinnati, James Horn here in the Tri-Cities, Valdana Mize in Kingsport, and Chad Fletcher, one of the photographers at Kingsport Speedway. Our folks watching, our regulars, we appreciate that. Quick break, we'll be right back. My old buddy, the mayor of Belog, North Carolina, Darius Hensley. He is the daddy rabbit. He joins us next year on show number, 732 They said it wouldn't work. The Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are again at show number 732. We're live here again. Hello, Renee McNeil. She has become a Kyle Busch fan, and I like that. She told me yesterday at church, she said, you know, Tom, my phone's going to burn up. She's going to say, she said, you know, Tom, I kind of like Kyle Busch now. I said, Renee, come on over to the winning side, dear. And so this thing will blow up in a minute. She can't stand Kyle Busch. So hello to Scott Hyatt. Hello to Ricky Walters. Again, like us and share us, and we appreciate that. Over 1,100 folks every day watching this show that we know of for dialed-in, dedicated followers, and it grows every day. Thank you for that. We give the Lord the credit for that. It ain't me. This is his show. My man is in the house. Look at him right there. The mayor of Belog, North Carolina, Darius Hensley. All right, he does so many things. Some of the things he does and does well, works at guest services at Bristol Motor Speedway. We dodged the raindrops, dodged the ice pellets, dodged everything up there last week. The folks are there, and obviously we understand the weather kept a lot of folks back. That's kind of a given. But the folks were there, got treated to some really good racing, and you had a chance to, as always, warm up the folks and just be a ray of sunshine at the track, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're the first place they stop, Tom. Want to know where their tickets are and where this is and that is, and where the closest heater was on Monday. Because believe me, it was cold. Outside on top of the hill for about 5 hours. But
the wind was whistling too, wasn't it?
They said 38. I don't know if it's 38 or minus 38.
Is that miles per hour?
Miles per hour, yeah. I had to hold my toupee on. I think it was cold. It was cold. But we had a good time. We enjoyed it. And, we we love going up there and helping the folks. And people from everywhere, they say, it's Bristol, baby. They were there when it was pouring rain and didn't leave.
50 states and normally double-digit countries are represented in the fall race. I think they got this one right. They have moved, if you missed it, last week we announced they've moved the Wednesday doubleheader, the Bush's Beans 150, the Wheeler Modified, and the Camping World Truck Series race, the UNOH, it is a race fest, and a wreck fest sometimes, UNOH 200, being moved to Thursdays. Now for the out-of-town fans, and you see this because you deal with the out-of-town campers, they're now going to come in here and see Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, tracks calling back-to-back nights of racing at the world's last great Coliseum. I think that's a smart move.
I think so too. Your race fan, he's got 3 nights in a row, and and he doesn't want to take a night off. Of course, you had the Food City Family Food Night. I don't know what they're going to do with that. That was always on Thursday night, and the parade, the haulers. So we'll see. I don't know if that's been announced.
I would think. Me, I would think you would either do one of two things. You would move Food City Family Race Night right there off track on turn 4, move it up there so people can go there and come right across and watch the race, or move it to Wednesday, just flip-flop it. The hauler parade, that's a good point. I would guess you do that Wednesday, but I'm sure they're up there working on that, and they'll let us know when they make a final decision, so we'll just wait for it to crawl off the mountain. We're so far down the valley.
That's right, at the bottom.
We're just waiting for it to roll down the hill and tell us.
That's right.
Oh, me, oh, my. I love this guy right here. And his lovely bride, Miss Elizabeth, they're just class people. So took us to the Cove back in January. We're going back later on this year. It's very exciting news that Eric wants us back over there. So there's a website to go to. Hit the highlights, some of the things going on at the Cove right now, my friend.
Okay, the website is thecove.org. And I'll give you the 800 number as well, 1-800-950-9092 is the 800 number. And we've got some upcoming events, Tom, as far as I checked with Eric this morning. And by the way, all the dogwoods are out, redbuds are out, turkeys are out, and the azaleas are out. Oh, it's beautiful. And I've got to get over. I think I'll just go over and check it out. But I did check with him, and there's 2 events that I've mentioned this to several people, and I've got a lot of response right here in the Tri-Cities. Matter of fact, I talked to a minister this morning, which we discussed that a moment ago. He was unaware of the ministers' pastoral retreat. This is for ministers and their spouse. This is free. It's a 3-day renewal retreat. The next one coming up will be May the 1st through the 3rd, and this is with Jim Henry. Now, the retreat is open, but there's no lodging on campus, so to speak. That's full. And but the next one coming up after that, if you might want to make a note on that, is September the 4th and 5th with Richard Blackaby. That will be the pastoral retreat, and there may be some openings there. Then there's another one, October 23rd through the 25th. And so if you call that 800 number or get online at the cove.org, you can get a booklet like what I have here that brings you up to date on that. Now that's the pastoral retreat. We also have a military marriage retreat, and the next one is going to be May the 25th to 27th with Chip Ingram. There's no lodging for that either. It's full, but you can still get into the seminar, but there's no rooms available now. And there's another one coming up in September with Gary Thomas, September the 14th and 16th. So if you are active in the military, and if you can get in touch with the Cove, and again, the number is 1-800-950-2092 or thecove.org. And some of the other upcoming events right now, there's an evening at the Cove. Lodging is also full. But just go online or give them a call, and because these fill up fast, and you can go ahead and register for these events later on in the year. And but the guy I was talking to this morning, the minister, he was at the prayer last night event, and he was unaware of the pastoral retreat. He said, "Give me that number. I want your number, the organization's number." He said, "We plan to go." He and his wife plan to go. So these are some things that are available, and that it's out there for ministers and military. Great.
Cove.org is where you want to go. Again, we're live at the Will Graham Celebration headquarters in Johnson City. Tomorrow, Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday, we'll be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday, we're going to be at Freddy's, right around the corner, across town, actually, in North Johnson City. Then on Friday, we'll be at State of Franklin Food City in North Johnson City with the brand new, if you've not been there to see it, it's unbelievable. They've taken out the salad bar. They're putting in a full-fledged stores in the store of Starbucks inside of Food City. This is a prototype. It's going to be one of many going in. I think they're going to put one in gray. I'm not sure exactly where they're all going into, but I know they're at State of Franklin because it's there and ready to go. So we'll be there to help kick that off on Friday, the Starbucks inside of Food City on North State of Franklin. The folks, in closing, the folks from the Cove came over to the race, and I believe we got them hooked.
I think so.
Big Jim came.
Jim. We had three car loads came.
Yeah.
And, of course, Will brought his family. Mm-hmm. And I've talked to all of them, and they said, we loved it. They loved it. And the hospitality was great. And they said, can we come back sometime? I said, sure can. So
Jill's already dropped. She said, man, wonder what's like under the lights over there. And I said, well, Jill, you're going to come back with your hubby and find out.
They are. They're great people.
They are great people.
You talk about hospitality when you go over there. Just relax and leave your problems on Interstate 40 and go on in, and they'll welcome you in.
I said to Bob here a few minutes ago before I went on air, there's 4 places I deal with that are first class in anything they do. That would be Food City, Chick-fil-A, Bristol Motor Speedway, and now anybody that's dealing with the Cove and with this event here, this Will Graham celebration. You talking about a well-oiled machine. What little I've been able to get behind the scenes, haven't been able to get behind much, but what I have, I mean, these guys and ladies know what they're doing. So do the folks do at the Cove as well. The Cove.org is where you want to go. 1-800-950-2902 is the number to call, and so you can find out more. And the mayor of B-Log, what is the population B-Log, by the way? And where are you running?
Population's 42.
When's the mayoral race again?
It'll be in August, and the last election I got it by one vote. It was 20-19.
Tight
race. So I've got to start politicking, getting some signs out,
canvassing.
Yeah, that's right.
Get your political machine revved up.
You got it. You got
48
it. It's
people.
time. You bet.
North Carolina.
One last thing, if I may add, Tom, before we
yes.
leave. As you in August the 10th through the 12th, Will Graham will be speaking then, and that's an open date, and also JB will be over there. Or Steve Brown, JB Brown will be there, and that's still open. Yep. And I think that's in June, isn't it?
Father's Day weekend.
Father's Day weekend, 15th and 16th. JB Brown.
JB Brown will be the same JB Brown you see on TV every Sunday, the NFL Today host on CBS Sports is what we're talking about. So he is a devoted Christian, and he will be there with a seminar workshop. Father's Day weekend. Again, everything you need to know about that is at thecove.org. That particular opportunity, you have overnight staying, or you just come to the sessions and drive back and forth wherever you may be. So those are the 2 options for that. That'll be coming up Father's Day weekend. That's what's going on at the Cove, thecove.org. All right, you the man.
Appreciate you, big
guy. We'll take a break, come right back. How about the Predators? They've moved on. They've disposed of the Avalanche. Coming up next, the Winnipeg Jets. We'll break it down and tell you all about yesterday's big win. Preds put a butt whooping on the Avalanche. We'll tell you all about that as they move on. And who else is still playing? Who's playing tonight? We'll tell you about that next in our segment on the National Hockey League. Show number 732, the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again, show number 732. We're joined looking at that handsome rascal right there. Tell you what, I've not seen him for a while, and he is, how much have you lost? Go ahead and brag on yourself.
About 100 pounds in the last couple of years. So
100 pounds, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Just slowly but surely, just taking care of myself, focusing on eating better and working out, and I've got great reasons. I've got 3 sons and a wife at home, so I need to take better care of myself.
Absolutely. And you've done it well. So great stuff. Scott, again, whether you see on the screen with the Will Graham team as one of the volunteers to help bring this to town. Again, the celebration Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The evangelist, of course, coming to town as we had the privilege of introducing him at the Speedway when he gave the prayer. The prayer was out of this world. He knocked it out of the park. And so Will, the grandson of the late Dr. Billy Graham, and the son, of course, of Franklin with Samaritan's Purse, the Operation Shoebox folks. So the legacy is there. He brings it to town on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Scott, there's a lot of buzz about this event, and we're talking about folks' soul for eternity here, so may not get another chance to be able to respond to the gospel like they can with Will Graham. So you and I were talking off mic. It's very important to bring a friend and come either Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tell me about it.
Well, it's important because, you know, one of the things that we see, and this is indicative of most things in life, people want to be invited. They want to be invited to something that they feel a part of. And it's different when you say, hey, have you heard about this? And have you considered coming? Versus when somebody takes the time to invite them to attend. And, you know, people are so focused on getting people to their church or getting them to a certain area. And this is a venue where it's they're going to have music. They're going to have a space that everybody's familiar with. Maybe they've seen a Bucks game there or something else. And so their guard will be a little bit more down, and they can come with a friend and hear a great gospel presentation.
That is awesome. You're right, and that's a great venue. I mean, you know, they did what they should have done a long time ago, and made it into a basketball arena. So if you've been to see the Bucks play, it's a very hostile place to come in and play if you're an opponent. It won't be hostile this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You're going to feel the love of the Lord in there with Will and the musical groups. I guess, Friday night, the Adoration Band and Aaron Shust. That's on Friday night. Saturday, Claudia's going to be by talking about the Kids Fest here in a little while. Saturday night, this guy packs him in everywhere he goes, Crowder. This is a big deal to get Crowder in here. And then Sunday will be Ellie Holcomb. Some of the other folks will be the Moore Brothers Band, April Taylor Barnes, Jennifer Trent, and oh, by the way, the gospel's going to be presented each day from Will Graham, which is free. So all this at Freedom Hall. Doors open 60 minutes prior to the events. And so the music's there. The message is going to be there. The venue is a perfect setting. Plenty of parking in and around Freedom Hall, so it's really the recipe's there for a fantastic showing.
Absolutely. One of the things that I loved last night was the prayer service, and there was multiple denominations that were represented, multiple races, genders. People were there just to pray for our community, and this is a chance for us as a community to come together and say, people's salvations is important. And Will has prayed about this. I know we've been praying for him. He's prayed about his message. It is going to be great music, and our hopes are that even with the teenagers, they take time to be able to invite their friends, say, hey, come hear Crowder. They can play the music. They'll know Crowder's music. Then they get a chance to hear that gospel presentation. So we've created an atmosphere that is easy for them to invite a friend, something that is non-intrusive, that can be fun, exciting, and they can come for free.
TCRcelebration.org is the website, by the way. There's billboards all across the Tri-Cities, so this thing has been very heavily, I feel like, heavily promoted, and the word's out. Take us back again. I want folks to understand that Wills is not going to show up and do this 3-day celebration. There's been a lot of meetings, a lot of prayer meetings, a lot of preparation. This has been an ongoing, I guess, for a couple of years to get this to where it is getting ready to happen this weekend.
That is correct. There have been teams that from Johnson City and Kingsport and Bristol that were praying. And it came together. They told us a story about this last night where the groups finally realized they had all been praying for the same thing. Will and his organization were praying about coming to our region as well. It's not very far from where his grandfather lived and grew up, and so they're very familiar with our region. And this will be the first evangelistic outreach that BGEA has had since the passing of his grandfather. So I expect it to be a very powerful event.
Yep, when we went over, we actually did a show at the Cove back in January. Will was on the show, and he said, as a young man, he used to come to Johnson City all the time to see the dentist, so he's very familiar with Johnson City. He said, it's not fairly frequently, not as often as it used to be, but he and Franklin come over the mountain and come to Elizabethton and pick out little places and eat. So they know the Tri-Cities very well, and they know that as Bob told me this morning, that the harvest is ready for, we feel like it's going to be a fantastic event. Again, tell us one more time the importance of bringing someone and kind of set the stage as far as the times and when all this is going to be happening.
Yeah, it's important for people to bring a friend and then to invite them. It's free. There's going to be plenty of parking, plenty of space. Everybody wants to feel like they're accepted or a part of something. And so when you're able to invite a friend and ask them to come, it really sets that tone. It takes the guard down, and hopefully they'll be able to receive that word. And so we're praying for their hearts. We're praying for the people who are also going to be inviting their friends, that they would have the right words to say and to be able to speak into their life. So Friday night we have the celebration. Saturday morning is the kids event, which you're going to hear about later, and also Sunday night as well.
Yep. So again, we're talking to Scott. Tell folks about your day job. You have a really cool company in Bristol. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I'm also the owner of Branding Iron, which is a full-service advertising, marketing, and public relations firm. And my role here, part of the reason I've been able to do this is that we want to get back to the community, and my expertise is in public relations and communications. And so I've been trying to tout this message, helping with spreading the word, both virally and traditional marketing. And so hopefully I've been able to use my God-given talents on the secular end to enhance what we're doing in the community here too.
Guy can speak, can he not? Look up in that camera again and tell him one more time from your standpoint why it's important that Scott's going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to hear the gospel.
So many people put an emphasis on the pastors to do the jobs of inviting people to church, to speak the word, but they don't have the influence over your sphere of influence like you do. You are able to speak into people's lives who may never ever step in front of a church door, but they know you. And when you personally ask them to attend this celebration, it makes a big difference. People want to be involved. People want to feel like they're needed and appreciated and wanted. So you can make a big difference in getting your friends there. And we hope that you'll take this opportunity, because all of the music, the message, everything has been set for you. All you have to do is invite your friends, invite your loved ones, your neighbor, somebody that you've been praying for, and make sure they get there so they can hear this this fabulous word from Will Graham.
Give me goosebumps, man. That was good. You nailed it. That's how good this guy is. He looked up in the screen, looked at you all, and said, we're going to shuck the corn, and he did. Scott Emmern, again, tell us website for your business. How can we find out more about you and what you do during the day?
You can find a little bit more about us at brandingiron.com. That's what we do. We brand. I'm from Texas, and so I like the old-fashioned branding irons. It leaves a mark, but that's what we do in business as well, as we help people to be able to brand their companies and their products.
BrandingIron.com. That's awesome. Appreciate you, man. Anything you want to leave us with today? Anything you want to leave?
Well, we really appreciate the opportunity. Great show, wonderful. I'm a big sports enthusiast, so appreciate all your work in our community, and thank you all for your prayers and support.
There you go. Good man right there. Quick break. We'll be right back from our great sponsor, Carter County Bank. Scott Emron. Coming up next, we'll take a look at the Predators on the ice. They put a whooping on the Avalanche and turned their attention to the Winnipeg Jets. We'll tell you all about who's playing in the National Hockey League and a really sad commentary about the fans in Philadelphia last night. Me, oh my, oh my. We'll tell you what happened last night when they got eliminated by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Frustration set in and didn't do a real good job of showing some good sportsmanship. We'll tell you about that and everything in the National Hockey League segment next here, live at the Will Graham Celebration headquarters in Johnson City. Tomorrow, Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday, Chick-fil-A. Crossings, North Johnson City. Thursday, we'll be at Freddy's. We'll park Champion Chevrolet this week and go to Freddy's. And then Friday, we're going to help kick off the Starbucks being opened up at the State of Franklin Food City, one of our great sponsors on the Food City Friday. We're going to be there again with that brand spanking new huge Starbucks store within a store, the prototype for all the food cities, opening Friday at State of Franklin Food City here in Johnson City. Quick break, right back with the National Hockey League on show number 732. They said you couldn't do a show on the internet and Facebook. We's here. We'll be right back right after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is Andrew McKeon, president of Carter County Bank. Carter County is blessed with amazing characteristics. Natural beauty, caring people, and locally owned small businesses all make our community one of the best places in America to live. Remember to support Carter County small businesses with your purchases, because for every $100 you spend at a Carter County owned business, $45 stays here to create local jobs and support our schools. When you spend $100 at a national chain store, only $14 remains in our community. So no matter where you roam, hurry back home. Let's pull together to support local business and make our community.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax and Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
The savings continue the month of April at Max Medismart in Kingsport. All natural factors, 20% off the entire month of April. Products like folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules to lose weight, vitamin B12, Stress Relax, which are tranquil sleep chewables, all 20% off the month of April. Easy Iron, niacin tablets, vitamin C, calcium, over 100 different supplements of natural factors, all 20% off the month of April. No coupons, no limits. A flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in April at Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max. Center Street in Kingsport, where natural factors are 20% off the month of April at Max Medicine Mart.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Thanks again, Scott. Appreciate him very much stopping by here and promoting what's going to be a fantastic event. Again, check out his website, brandingiron.com. I think that's really cool, and we certainly appreciate his opportunity to come here and talk to us this morning here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. All right, let's take a look at the National Hockey League. The Predators did it. They eliminated the Colorado Avalanche. Kind of a foregone conclusion that was going to happen. At least I thought so. It was plain to see. Matthias Ekholm, Matthias Ekholm ignited the offense early with the first goal by National. Let me start over here. Matthias Ekholm ignited the offense early with the first goal by Nashville defenseman in the series. Pecorini stopped 22 shots on goal. The top-seeded Predators advanced to the second round with a 5-0 victory over the Avalanche in Game 6 on Sunday night. Austin Watson, Philip Forsberg, Nick Bonino, and Victor Arvidsson, who also scored to help the Predators move on to face Winnipeg. Against the Jets in the regular season, they were 3-1-1. And so Pecorini, who notched his 4th career postseason shutout as the Predators won the series 4-2, and so they'll move on against the Winnipeg Jets. Also yesterday it was the Pittsburgh Penguins eliminating the Philadelphia Flyers. Kind of a sad story, for me anyway, as far as in the category of sportsmanship or lack thereof. Penguins eliminated the Flyers 8-5 to win the series 4-2. Now, granted, you can be competitive, and granted, you want your team to win, and I get that. I totally get that, because when I go out and play, I'm going to beat you. That's what I'm out there for. I don't care who you are. You can be my brother, my cousin, my best buddy. If we're on the floor in basketball, I'm there for one reason, for a W. And I'm going to do it clean, but I'm going to beat you. That's my goal. I'm not out there to lollygag around, so I get it being competitive as a Flyer fan. However, fans littered the ice last night with beer, towels, garbage, food, throwing them at the players. They were just out on the ice. Some didn't even wait for a break and play. They were chucking stuff during the action, forcing players to maneuver and skate around the flying debris coming out of the stands. It's unclear if they were mad at the officiating or the performance of the team, but both were quite very much questionable, so it really could go either way. Bottom line, it was a lack of class for the Flyer fans last night in Philadelphia. In any case, the Penguin players also clearly irked by the action of the Philadelphia faithful, as they're kind of hunkering down too. Even the PA guy, the Flyers public address announcer, came on there, started screaming at the fans, "Stop throwing bracelets," and "Way to go, we got a 2-minute penalty because of unsportsmanlike conduct by the fans in the stands." So they're throwing beer, they're throwing food, they're throwing towels, they're throwing garbage while it's going on, not during a timeout, not when it's over, while it was going on. Very sad commentary, I feel like. So anyway, it was the Penguins moving on to the next round of the Stanley Cup. The defending champions, of course, as well as the Predators getting ready to take on the Winnipeg Jets. Tonight on the ice, you have Boston skating at Toronto. Bruins going to try and end it. They lead at 3-2. Also tonight, the Columbus Blue Jackets hosting the Washington Capitals. Caps lead that one 3-2 in the best of 7. Both of those will be tonight. Boston at Toronto to drop the puck in Canada at 7 o'clock. And the Washington-Columbus matchup in the state capital of Ohio will be at 7:30 tonight for the National Hockey League. The Stanley Cup playoffs going on tonight. Again, Boston skates at Toronto trying to end that series. Toronto's trying to stay alive. And Washington skates in Columbus trying to end the Blue Jackets season. And, of course, the Blue Jackets want to win and send it back to Washington for Game 6. So that's what's going on. And, again, the Preds will take a day or two break and get ready to turn right around and crank it back up against the Winnipeg Jets. They won that series that we told you earlier in the regular season, 3-1. The Dobbins Minute head football coaching job continues to be out there. They interviewed the 3 finalists on Friday. Travis Turner from Union, Virginia. Jamie Harless, coach in Lord Botetourt County outside of Metro Roanoke, the other candidate, and Greg Ryan, the head coach of Greenback, former East Tennessee State quarterback. Those are your 3 finalists for the Dobbins Minute head coaching job. Travis Turner out of Union, Virginia, Jamie Harless out of Lord Botetourt County in Metro Roanoke, and Greg Ryan from Greenback High School here in Tennessee are your 3 finalists for the head coaching job to replace the legendary Graham Clark, the all-time winningest coach in the history of Dobbins Minute football. We are live again. We are at the Will Graham Celebration headquarters in Johnson City, Tennessee. Of course, coming up this weekend is the said celebration at Freedom Hall on Friday night, on Saturday and Saturday evening. You have the Adoration Band on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Aaron Shust will be there Friday night at 7 o'clock. The Saturday night will be also at 7 o'clock with Crowder leading the way as far as the music. And then the Kids Fest on Saturday morning at 10:30. And then Ellie Holcomb will be, she and Aaron Shust will be your featured performers on Sunday. So it's 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 4 o'clock will be your start times for the Will Graham celebration. Now our church bringing a band over, loading them up on Sunday. It's our 5th Sunday, so we normally don't have church service on Sunday evening, so we're going to load the bands up and bring them over to let the folks see and hear the gospel proclaimed by Will Graham on Sunday at Freedom Hall in Johnson City. It's a free admission. Doors open 60 minutes prior to the event. Again, the website is tcrcelebration.org. College football and college basketball coming up next. We are live again. As we are. Top of the hour, going to be joined. We'll go to Northern Virginia, checking with our buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. Oh yes, Richmond, kind of a ho-hum race, won by you-know-who. Oh yeah, Kyle Busch. Yep. We're going to talk about that with my buddy Mike Hedrick, and also there's only 8 other drivers who won 4 in a row, and interestingly enough, none of those 4 straight races were won at any time by any of the 8 drivers at Talladega. That's how big this race is, and even Kyle Busch said Saturday night after the Richmond race, I have a better chance of winning Powerball than winning at Talladega. Every driver knows when they go in there, it's just the mystique, the tendency to have the big one, which they always do, a big wreck when they're in there going upwards of 190, 200 miles an hour. And so a lot of drivers don't like to race in Talladega simply because the unforeseen calamities that typically happen, it's coming, just when it's going to happen and when it's coming. And so a lot of the drivers, for that reason, don't like going to Talladega. I think that's an interesting stat. Out of those 8 drivers, we got some legendary guys that did it, won 4 in a row. Nobody in that 4 race win streak ever won in Talladega. I thought that was interesting. Quick break. We'll be right back. We are live here, as we said. We're on the road at the Will Graham Celebration headquarters in Johnson City. Of course, so the celebration coming this weekend, and so this is our final trip in here. Been in here for the second time, and love coming over and promoting this event. We'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we'll take a look at some college football news over the weekend. How about the Big Orange? Jeremy Pruitt called out the fan base. Thought that was interesting, and we'll do that right after you hear this from our good friend Jeff Bingham, B&H Wealth Strategies, right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And one of our great sponsors, again, is B&H Wealth Strategy. With me is the president, Jeff Bingham. Let me go ahead and read the official tag to get it started. Securities and registered investment advisory services offered through Silver Oak Securities Incorporated, member of FINRA SIPC. B&H Wealth Strategies and Silver Oak Securities are not affiliated. We are affiliated with this man right here, the president of B&H Wealth Strategies, Jeff Bingham. And so, hello, my good friend. How are you?
I'm very well, Tom. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So tell us again. Glad to have you on board as a sponsor. We love it. And tell folks out there what B&H Wealth Strategies is all about.
Well, I think to start with, we would talk about the fact that we are now 52 years old, that we're the oldest financial planning firm of its kind in Upper East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. And that alone I think speaks volumes about us. We've been successful over long periods of time. Our staff on hand here my 3 staff members have been with me 17, 20, and 21 years, I think it is now. So what that means is that obviously we've got longevity and consistency and the comfort that our clients really desire. And everything that we do, a lot of people will talk about wealth advisory businesses or brokerage businesses or financial planners, whatever term you want to apply to that, and kind of throw us all into the same bucket. That we're all the same. And I certainly would argue that we are not all the same, and that we are not like anybody else that's out there, not just because of the time that we've been around, although I think that is a very big differentiator, but it's the experience that we try to create, something that we call our 4 seasons experience. And from the moment that you pull into our parking lot to the time you come in and visit with us, we don't have meetings, we have visits. We're in a house that's been redone, so we really try to get everybody very comfortable. You come through the back door, through our kitchen. We've got clients that have been with us for 25, 30, 40 years now that come in, find their own Coke, coffee, or personalized bottled water, if you will, that we have here that's customized for us. And sometimes they don't even come in to see me. They just come in to visit with staff, or they come in to walk or park their car and walk down to John Sevier and walk the track in the flat neighborhood that's around here. So we really, I think what we've been able to do in doing something that is very personal and difficult to talk about money, and it is very important, and we are very good, in my opinion, at managing the money part of it, but we're really managing the entire lifestyle for folks. And part of that lifestyle is what we try to create here, and that comfort level of doing it. And I think it makes us worldly different than everybody else that's out there.
Yep, and you do it well. We'll get his website in a second. 247-1152 is the phone number. They're located on Center Street here in Kingsport, right across from Mayfair United Methodist Church. There is a website. We go there. What will we find?
When you go to our website, you're going to find out, you really get some insight into who we are. In today's world, again, we talk about making first appearances, right? And what we've created here in this building, it used to be the first appearance, right? You have one chance to make a first appearance, right? And that's a little different now. I mean, it is important, and you see us on the corner here of Center Lamont, and we think that appearance and what you see there looks good. Like I said, we're not overstated by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, we try to be what we are, which is
we is who he is.
We is who he is. This is not this is not a place we're not ornate. You don't come in and see mahogany desks and Oriental rugs. You come in and you see a house. I mean, you come in through our kitchen. You come in through our reception area, which is which isn't really fancy. It's just comfortable. And then you come into our living room where you wait, and then you come into this room where we're actually sitting this morning, which we would call a conference room, but it really is it's the den. If you sit in here, you're in our den. You've got a fireplace over here, and you can sit down and kind of relax your guard to do that. So again, every little detail we try to attend to and going through that to make our clients and prospective clients comfortable when they come in. And the website is really just a mirror of that right there. We try to obviously have our information that's out there, but it really is just that window into what you see once you come in here, because that's the way of the world today. And I'm kind of going kicking and screaming into that world. I'm old school. I was taught by my dad, who was, we did it on a yellow pad with a pen, and it was pen and paper and a calculator. And I'm still that way, really, to a degree. But I understand the use of technology, and it really has made our lives and our clients' lives much better because of the tool set that we have to do that with. But at the end of the day, all the technology, the website, the Facebook that we're working on here, Twitter, blogs, all of that stuff. Like I said, that's still kind of foreign to me. I do it, but I've got people that help me do it, thank goodness, because I'm really not very good at doing much of anything other than this right here, which is talking to folks and listening to folks and trying to solve problems. And that's really what the website is, and that's what you'll find.
Yep. BHRetire.com is the website, by the way, and this is our good friend, and glad to have him on board, Jeff Bingham from B&H Wealth Strategies, the president, as you heard about it right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's go to the phone. He's there, our dear friend in Northern Virginia. Took a week off to kind of, just kind of get rested up and ready to go for a big push here in the NASCAR racing season. Took a week off, kind of probably thaw out after coming over the edge. Our buddy Mike Hedrick with us. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. And hey, like you, I'm trying to get in a new location because you always go from great place to great place. So today I'm at the NASCAR Fan Group Supporters Ford F-150 Climate Control Studio. And for my redneck buddies out there in Tennessee, we got four-wheel drive in the studio.
I love it. So let's jump in here and go. We always talk about the weekend racing. Was it me, Mike Hedrick? Of course, Kyle Busch wins the race. We'll talk about that in a moment. But was it me or was this kind of ho-hum racing at Richmond over the weekend?
Well, I got in trouble on Facebook because I actually called the race boring. And I thought it was bad. Wasn't that great racing for the fans? I mean, I think that, the big story is, hey, Kyle Busch gets his third win in a row. That's his 46th in the career. That ties him with Buck Baker. But really, it really was pretty much an uneventful race. There was zero caution. I mean, there was only 6, and 2 of those were for stages. 2 of those were just for fluids and debris. So there was only 2 with incidents. Now, I get in trouble because when you say boring, and people accuse you of, well, you're just watching NASCAR for the wrecks. Well, no, you can have cautions without having a wreck. Anytime a caution comes when people are hard to door-to-door racing and there's real hard racing, maybe somebody gets spun, maybe somebody gets moved out, they throw the caution flag, and then you get a restart. And that's good racing right there. So I think that the big story was, hey, Kyle Busch gets that third one in a row, but maybe, hey, Chase Elliott, he's up there, he gets him the second-place finish. And, you know, I mean, other than that, it was pretty good race. Logano looked good. He won the first 2 stages, but Kyle Busch, I mean, that is the story. From 32nd place right there all the way to win the race. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Here's your top 10 from Richmond. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, good runner-up finish for the number 9 machine. Denny Hamlin, another Gibbs driver. Joey Logano finishing 4th. Harvick 5th. Jimmy Johnson, good run for JJ. That's how bad his season's been for the last couple of years. When he finished the 6th, we go, wow, for the 7-time champion. Great race. 7th is Kyle Larson. 8th is Brad Keselowski. 9th was Clint Boyer. And finishing out the top 10 was Daniel Suarez. So don't look now, but here come the Gibbs drivers. We've been talking about Stewart-Haas all season long, and yet you have 1, 3, and 10 out of the Gibbs camp, winning by Kyle Busch, of course, and then, as we said, Hamlin and Suarez. Eric Jones was right there hanging around too. He finished 13th. So the Toyotas and the Gibbs drivers starting to heat up as we head to Talladega, my friend.
Yeah, I think they are. There was actually a good mix right there, as you just said there in that top 10. There were 3 Toyotas, there were 3 Chevys, and there were 4 Fords. And the Fords have been dominating lately. And, you know, it's almost that the Fords, if you look over into the standings, though, there's still more Fords in that top 10. There's 6 of them, 3 Toyotas, and just 1 Chevy. I think when you look at the top 10 right now in the standings, we've got Kyle Busch in the lead in points, and also with his 3 wins, Joey Logano, Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski in 5th, Denny Hamlin in 6th, Martin Truex Jr., Blaney and Kurt Busch, and Kyle Larson in and out the top 10. And if you look, I think the big surprise is that there's no Hendricks in there. Your first Hendricks is going to be Alex Bowman in 13th, Jimmy Johnson 15th, Byron 16th, and Chase Elliott all the way down there in 20th. So, and when you look at the standings, I think you are seeing the Toyotas coming on, and we're still wondering about what's going to happen with them, with Hendricks and their Chevys.
We're talking to our buddy Mike Hendricks. See on the screen on the phone with the NASCAR Fans Report in Northern Virginia. Let's go to the guys that won 4 in a row in NASCAR. We'll go back to 1976, Cale Yarborough. 1981, Darrell Waltrip won the championship that year. 1987, Dale Earnhardt Sr. One of the 4 he won in a row was in Bristol. 1991, the Skull Bandit Harry Gant. 1992, Bill Elliott won 4 in a row. 1993, it was Mark Martin, and one of his 4 in a row was Bristol. 1998 was Jeff Gordon. In 2007, last one to win 4 in a row was Jimmy Johnson, went on to win the championship in 2007. Mike, I think it's an interesting stat. None of these drivers won 4 in a row. None of the 8 drivers, one of those 4 races was at Talladega. It tells you how tough it is. Kyle Busch said Saturday night, I have a better chance winning a Powerball than I do winning at Talladega. So it is a tough track. And again, none of these guys, when they won 4 in a row, was one of the tracks was Talladega, which I think speaks volume for how tough Talladega is.
And it also, well, yes, sir, for Talladega. And if you look at it, Toyota's not traditionally good there at Talladega. There's 40 Chevy wins, 24 Fords, and just 3 Toyotas. But like you said, even just the fact of trying to get 4 in a row, you can see how rare that is. And as we talked a few weeks ago, there really is nobody that had 5 in a row or 6 in a row. But there is. Richard Petty had 10 wins in a row in one of his seasons. But, yeah, it would be very difficult. I'd be very surprised if Kyle Busch did get the win at Talladega. But you know what? It's Talladega. Anything can happen there. I mean, they can have just, a lot of wrecks. And like I said, there's a lot of young drivers that are going, that are coming on strong. We don't know how they're going to react and how really aggressive they're going to be at Talladega. And then, like I said, Talladega is a big track where big things happen. So I'd like to see Kyle Busch in that streak of 4, but I don't think he needs it. I think we're looking at maybe the next Jimmy Johnson. I think if you really look at what he's doing and how young he is, he's still a young man. I think we may be looking at the next multiple champion in Kyle Busch.
He is the 5th driver since 1980 with multiple 3-race win streaks. He's done it more than once, joining Rusty Wallace 3 times. Jeff Gordon won 3 races 3 times in a row, and the late Dale Earnhardt Sr. twice, and Jimmy Johnson twice. Will also become and is now the 2nd driver this season with a 3-race win streak as Harvick pulled off the feet. The only other time in the last 25 seasons that multiple drivers had a 3-race win streak in a season was Busch, and Joey Logano did it back in 2015. So for all that documentation on Kyle Kyle Busch. He now moves up to 15th in the all-time wins list, tied with Hall of Famer Buck Baker. We were jokingly saying up there last week at Bristol Motor Speedway, Mike Hedrick, that when it's all said and done, they're going to rename something up there, some part of that track for Kyle Busch, because he owns Bristol. And again, picked up his 7th win week before last. And so when his days are done, he'll have to come back up there and do the Kyle Busch section of Bristol Motor Speedway. They'll have to name a place for him for the success he's had at BMS.
And you know what? This makes my wife the happiest thing in the whole wide world. She takes such abuse for being a Kyle Busch fan, and, you know, so good for Mrs. Hedrick there just a little bit. And all the other Kyle Busch fans out there that are, you know, wearing your M&M stuff and your buddies are picking on you and all that kind of stuff. Hey, hang in there. The guy's a great driver, and he's a hoot to watch on the track and off the track with his family and that young lad. So yeah, hey, bravo to him.
Talladega will race twice here this weekend. We'll talk more about that on Friday. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the defending champ of the Cup race from a year ago. Elliott Sadler, the defending champ of the Xfinity race a year ago. Speaking of the Xfinity Series, over the weekend on Friday night, Christopher Bell, the rookie, held off Noah Gragson. Elliott Sadler, Matt Tiff, and Austin Cindric were the top 5 from the Xfinity Series race. As they head to Talladega, Mike Hedrick, your points leader, is the veteran Elliott Sadler with a 29-point lead over Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick, a couple of rookies. Daniel Hemrick 4th, and rounding out the top 5 in points is Justin Allgaier. So the Xfinity Series heating up. They got some great races going on, and here's Christopher Bell bringing home the checkers in that Rheem Toyota on Friday night, I should say, at Richmond. So the Xfinity Series heating up. They got some great young guys in there driving well.
You know what? And for this weekend here at Richmond, I think that was the race to watch. It, you know, was a lot of excitement. Like you said, it came down to Noah Gragson right on the tail of Christopher Bell, who gets his 2nd Xfinity win, first time there at Richmond. You know, Elliott Sadler came in 3rd, but he was the first of the dash for the Cash Boys. So, you know, Elliott Sadler, he's headed to Talladega with an extra $100,000 in his pocket. So maybe that'll fire him up to get one at Talladega. But, yes, these guys are going to be a lot of fun. The Xfinity Series is a lot of fun there at Talladega, and, you know, these guys are going to be out there. You know, not just Christopher Bell and Gragson, but also another Joe Gibbs, Brandon Jones was in 10th right there. So Joe Gibbs is looking strong, and, you know, so is Junior Motorsports. I think those are the 2 teams that you got to be looking for, you know, in powerhouses in Xfinity. But also, you know, the one-car team of Stewart Haas Racing with Cole Custer, that guy's always in the mix. He was 6th in the race, and he was 6th in standings right now. So keep an eye on them, too.
Joe Gibbs re-ups with Toyota. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Joe Gibbs, you know, they've been they re-signed with Toyota. Now, Joe Gibbs, who was 77, he wouldn't disclose the length of the new contract. He did giggle, his little Joe Gibbs giggle, and said that it was for a long time. But, yeah, Joe Gibbs had been, when they started, they were a General Motors team or a Chevy team until 2008. Now, they did get 3 of their championships with Chevy, but they've been the main Toyota team here since then. Now, 92 out of 150 of their Cup wins have been in Toyota, so they're doing real good. They do have a Cup win with Kyle Busch in the Toyotas, and they're the powerhouse in that. So it's good to see them not just, you know, just re-sign that big relationship, because they're actually like a mentor for other teams. Furniture Row that uses Toyotas, and a couple of others that are in the Cup Series that are moving over to Toyota. So it's always good to see when you see long-standing relationships continue in NASCAR.
Absolutely. And so we get ready to go racing at Talladega coming up on Saturday and Sunday. We'll check back in with Mike then. So it's all good. What do you want to leave us with today, my friend?
Hey, I just want to leave everybody with just, you know, everything is good, and just take care of yourselves. And I'm so glad to be back on the show. And, hey, when Aunt Claudia comes in there, give her a big old hug from me. All the Bristol people have been sending me a lot of love. Just got off the phone with Ben Trout, so tell everybody there I sure do love them. And, you know, and I hope the Lord does a lot of work, you know, in the location that you're at there and everything that's going on there in the Bristols and the Tri-City region.
You got it, my friend. Great job. We'll talk to you Friday previewing Talladega. How about some screen taters, big guy?
Screen taters. God bless you real good. Woo-hoo-hoo.
There's my man, Mike Hedrick, again, the NASCAR fans reporter in Northern Virginia, does a phenomenal job. We appreciate him very much. Quick break. As he said, she is here. She's helping to head up Kids Fest coming up Saturday at Freedom Hall. It's part of the Will Graham celebration. Our dear friend from Speedway Children's Charities, the one, the only Claudia Bird, joins us coming up next year on show number 732, live at the Will Graham celebration headquarters here in the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
We're back with the Tom Thurman Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are here live again, obviously. There she is on the screen, Claudia Burr with Kids Fest. We're live here again at the Will Graham Celebration headquarters. Correction, it's Aaron Schust. I said Shust. I'm country. I'm sorry. It's Aaron Schust will be there. No matter how you spell his name or pronounce his name, it's going to be a great show. Friday night at 7 o'clock, then Sunday at 4 o'clock. And so the stage is set. Let's get this young lady on camera because we want to capture that $1 million smile of hers. Claudia Burr from Speedway Children's Charities normally, but this weekend wearing Kids Fest hat. Good morning. How are you?
I am great. I'm great, Tom.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
I am honored to be here.
Yes.
I am honored to be here.
It's we just had a great weekend of racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. Crowds were affected by the weather. It just rolls. But if they didn't come, shame on them because it was great time.
It was
great racing.
It was great racing. We had a good time, and you and I were there the whole time.
Yes.
And every time a race car was on the track, you and I were there, and we enjoyed it. So hopefully fans will come back. But yeah, no. When they asked me to do this Kids Fest, I had a great excuse not to, because I had a race.
Yes.
That's what I have to do. I have to raise money for kids, but God wouldn't let me say no.
Here we are.
And here we are, because in my book, it's all about the kids.
Yep.
And what better opportunity than to affect thousands of children right in our community with the Word of God than being a part of this amazing organization.
It is amazing, isn't it?
It is, and the nicest people, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I told Bob this morning it's like a well-oiled machine. In fact, I told him there's 4 groups I work with that are everything they do is first class: Bristol Motor Speedway, Food City, Chick-fil-A, and this Will Graham organization. And that's not to slight anybody else I work with, but it's just they take it to the next level, and they're just first class and everything. And so the Kids Fest coming up on Saturday at 10:30. Kind of teases, look up into the camera.
Okay.
Tell folks what's going on.
It's going to be so much fun. Well, first of all, the Kids Fest itself happens from 9 to 10, and everything's free. We're going to have some amazing animals, petting zoo. I'm so excited, Tom. We have a young man. I got to meet him last night. He was at the One Prayer, and I got to meet him. We've been communicating for about 3 months. And he is so excited. There are all kinds of animals that kids can pet. He's even got 2 miniature white horses and a little princess carriage that, I can't wait. So that's going to be set up. Inflatables. We're going to have food. We're going to have games. We're going to have face painting. Instead of a cakewalk, we're going to do a cookie walk. But everything's free. Everything. The food's free. The drinks are free. The games are all free. There'll be prizes with some of the games. It's going to be great. And so this is the thing from 9 to 10 o'clock, and it's right outside of Freedom Hall, right there in the front area. And just come and bring kids. Kids are welcome to come. And then about 10 o'clock, we're going to stop doing that. We're going to move into Freedom Hall. And then we get ready for the Kids Fest. And boy, is it great. We heard part of the kids choir was there last night performing, and they were amazing. So Larissa McCarty, she is working with those kids, and she's just been incredible. She was recommended by someone else and has been a gift from God, but we just had so much fun. They were so great last night. There are going to be more kids that will be there, so they're going to be performing 6 songs during this. It's going to be great. And then we have the cutest little girl. Her name is Margaret Siglin. She is a high school senior. She is directing our play. We have a play called The Greatest Journey, and Margaret has directed plays before as a high school senior. Tom, I didn't do that as a high school senior. But she's going to be directing our play. It's a wonderful play and a lot of fun. It's just going to be part of the morning. So we're going to have some 3 songs, and we're going to have, I think, an act of the play, and then another song and another act of the play, another song and another act of the play. And then our friend Will Graham is going to come out and talk to the kids just for a few minutes. And it's going to be an amazing, fun celebration that kids are welcome to. But you know what? Parents and grandparents can come too. It's for the kids, but we want as many people to come, so we encourage the whole family to come. You don't just have to have the kids there. Come and bring your family, bring friends, and just a part of it. It's going to be a great day.
The importance of reaching young people with the gospel is paramount.
It is. And again, I've had a great team. I've mentioned 2 of them that are working with the kids, my kids part of the deal. I have a young man, Jason Bateman, who's been out in the community going to organizations and inviting the kids to come and bring a friend. That's the most important thing, to come and bring someone with you. And so throughout, not only through just this part of the celebration, but all aspects of the celebration, people are going to hear the gospel, but only if you bring them.
Exactly.
And encourage them to come.
You got to be there. You can't hear if you're not there.
No.
And so this is open to all the kids from 9 till 10. They'll go inside of Freedom Hall for the Kids Fest at 10:30 on Saturday.
Right.
Everything will be wrapped up probably
about 11:45.
Yeah, 12 o'clock.
Before 12 we should be. 2 other people that are helping with the Kids Fest setting it up. You know, the people who are volunteers that have kind of taken on this project. God sent you the names. That's when I was telling God I couldn't do this because I've got to run Speedway Children's Charities. I can't do this and do it right. And when God was telling me yes I could and wouldn't let me say no, He also was, as I would go to bed at night, He put people's names in my head, like, they can help you do this. They'll help you do this.
Wow.
2 other amazing women who are kind of in charge of that 9 to 10 are Malia Grant and Tiffany Ramsey Goforth, you may know her as. And so they've just done an amazing job. So we are a group that has gotten together, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. We're going to celebrate children, and we're going to celebrate we're just going to celebrate just being there and being in the presence of God. And I can't wait.
It's obvious. We're talking to Claudia Bird, again, from Speedway Children's Charities. But this week it's Kids Fest.
Right.
And it's she's wearing a different ball cap this week, Kids Fest. And so the Kids Choir, boy, I've heard a lot of good things about the Kids Choir. There's nothing to me more gets to me than hearing kids sing.
Well, that's true. And we have kids that have already signed up. But it's really, as Bob says, it's not too late. He says only too late at 12 o'clock on Saturday. Mm-hmm. But the music is out there, the motions for the songs. So if you have kids that really would like to be a part of it and you haven't signed them up yet, contact the office here, and they will send you a link to all the songs, and kids can still come and be a part of it. It's just going to be great. Our little play just really has 4 actors in it. It has 2 children, and then just 2 other actors. It's a fun play. It's a good message, and it's a lot of fun. Very entertaining. I think the whole morning is going to be entertaining. Mm-hmm. The kids, the songs they are singing are just great with all their motions. And last night we were talking today, on the front row was a little boy, and he was just all into it with his motions, and I was in tears, but crying good tears, because I was so excited to see them practice and perform and do such an amazing job. Absolutely. And speaking of Will Graham, he gave the invocation before the Xfinity race up there last Saturday week, and I went back and watched it. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And this is such a man of God. Of course, he comes from pretty good stock, but still, he has stepped up, and he's carrying the torch now, since his grandfather's in glory and his dad's still doing good things with Operation Shoebox with Samaritan's Purse. But yeah, Will Graham, when you're around him, he's the most down-to-earth guy. He is. That was my first reaction when he is really down to earth, but he does. He's wonderful, and we are so lucky and blessed that this Tri-Cities region has him coming here. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people have worked a long time to make this happen, and it's just a blessing that he's going to be here, and I can't wait. I'm not going to miss anything. No. I mean, from the Friday night service to Saturday morning with the kids, I might have to take a little break, but not long, and then get back here for Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon. It's an amazing opportunity for the people of the Tri-Cities, and if you don't come, you're going to miss something. I really believe that. Yeah. She's exactly right. And of course, there's been a lot of legwork into this, and so it's all coming to a head this weekend. So please consider being part of this. Again, you can go to tcrcelebration.org to find out more. tcrcelebration.org. But again, she's pretty much told you, bring your kids out on Saturday morning, I should say, at Freedom Hall parking lot for Kids Fest from 9 till 10. And we'll go inside Freedom Hall. So if it's raining or not, I don't think it's supposed to. It's supposed to be good weather all weekend, I think, finally. So you want to get out there and have a big time from 9 till 10, then go inside, hear the choir, watch the play, and then also, of course, hear a quick message from Will. And then, like I said, probably the best 3 hours you can invest. It definitely will. It's going to be fun, and everything's free. I don't want people to know, the kids, all the food's free, the drink's free, the games are free, the prizes they'll get. Everything is free, and of course, being inside the celebration of the Kids Fest itself, everything's free. So come out. There's no reason not to come. You're fired up. Yeah, I am. It's obvious. Love this lady. Appreciate you going. I know you're busy, and we'll see you out there Saturday. We'll see you Friday night. Right. And we'll see you Saturday. I can't wait. And Saturday night. Hope you'll be there with your granddaughter. I'm going to be there. Okay. I'm bringing them. Oh, yeah, they're all stoked. I'm going to try and get them over there Saturday night. You told me it's not too late to sing. That's right. I'll bring them over there Saturday and let them sing. Okay, it sounds great. They're both in the choir. So I love it. Very good. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here. We're going to talk. We'll go from talking Kids Fest to the NBA and college football. The Orange-White game this past Saturday. We'll talk about it next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
I'm the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Nope, there's the seat where she was, but she tain't no more. Let's bring in, it's hit the right, get this other camera back up and ready to go. Appreciate her so very much. What a class lady. Goodness gracious. Thanks a lot, Martha White. What a class lady. Again, Claudia Bird. Whatever she gets into, she just personifies enthusiasm. How can you not get fired up sitting beside her and looking into the camera and seeing the enthusiasm? And, here's the thing. It's sincere. She's not putting on, shouldn't have to. It's sincere. She's just, as I say back home, she's top shelf. So we're looking forward to being part of Kids Fest on Saturday from 9 till 10. They're going inside Freedom Hall at 10:30 on Saturday for, you heard the music and the play and the quick devotion, or the devotion from Will Graham. So it's going to be a powerful, powerful Saturday morning. It's all free, as she said. Everything, the food, the prizes, everything. All you have to do is show up at Freedom Hall parking lot at 9 o'clock. On Saturday morning, be ready to go. It's going to be a very, very special time, and there's going to be decisions made for eternity. These little people coming up again on Saturday morning. Tennessee's Jared Garantano had made clear he's the best quarterback on the Vols roster. He backed it up on Saturday. 226 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns in the orange-white game. Again, now he's got to hold off the challenge from the Stanford graduate transfer, Keller Christ, who is arriving on campus this summer. Only other scholarship quarterbacks in the Tennessee camp are Will McBride and incoming freshman J.T. Shrout. The Vols open the season September 1st against West Virginia in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so, again, the Big Orange on Saturday. Garantano went 15 out of 27 with 2 touchdowns to Marquez Callaway and Eli Wolf. Orange team defeated the white team easily, 34-7. He was named the game's most valuable player. I thought it was interesting because Jeremy Pruitt called out excuse me, the Tennessee fans. 65,000 there was the announced attendance. That figure may be a little generous. The upper level of the stadium was virtually empty. Pruitt saw room for improvement in that regard as well. This is what he said. The ones that were here, I'm proud they were here. Talking about the crowd. They were fired up. They're ready to get going. And then there were some that weren't there that had legitimate reasons they couldn't be here. And then there were some folks that weren't here that you wonder why weren't they here. Kind of like our football team. I think we all need to look in the mirror and see who we want to be. The Orange, by the way, produced 360 yards of total offense, 226 through the air and 134 on the ground. Wolf, 5 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. Cortez Sapp led all tacklers with 11 stops, including 5 solos for the white team. So you put the finishing touches on the orange-white game, and now you get ready for your summer workouts, and you look up, and it'll be here before you know it. We're talking about fall practice and getting ready for Tennessee football 2018. Other teams this Saturday, most of the teams have wrapped up spring practice. There is a handful still playing. Those would include, in no particular order, California, Oklahoma State, Nevada, Oregon State, Hawaii, and Virginia. All those teams are wrapping up their spring practice this coming Saturday with their particular inter-squad game. And so there are still some. Appalachian State and Liberty University will not have a spring practice game this year, which I thought was interesting. So they're going to go ahead and forego a spring practice situation. I don't know if you saw it, 86,000. They sold us out in less than 24 hours. 86,000. Hello, Ricky Walters, watching the show. Thank you, my friend. 86,818 paid fans rolled into Lincoln, Nebraska. The Red Army, they call themselves, the Nebraska Cornhusker fan base. 86,818 paid to go watch the inter-squad game. Place went nuts, had the band there. I mean, they are jacked up for the Nebraska Cornhusker football program with the return of Scott Frost coming back from University of Central Florida, where he led them to the they say national championship, but the national championship is in Alabama. So I guess it's a mythical national championship, but a heck of a season nonetheless. So Frost leaves there to come back home, if you will, to be the head coach of Nebraska, and they're ready for him, rather. 86,818 paid fans to watch the spring practice game at Lincoln, Nebraska. Also, Georgia over the weekend. Justin Fields enrolled at Georgia in January with enough hype to fill Sanford Stadium. Showed the crowd that the hype was for real. Again, in the G-Day game, Fields 18 out of 33 for 207 yards and a touchdown. 1 INT, made smart decisions, threw a tremendous 15-yard score to Matt Landers in the third quarter, and looked really wise beyond his years. If you want to go back and watch the highlights, was not allowed to be, quote, live in scrimmage, so he couldn't really show off his running ability. But again, Jake Fromm is Georgia's starting quarterback. Didn't have the best spring game. He threw 2 picks, 1 return for a touchdown. Was not as crisp as he was on big stages like we saw back in 2017. But he's playing against the first-team defense. Had a sure touchdown dropped 1 play before throwing the pick 6. Wasn't exactly asked to do a whole lot. They were wanting to really see what Fields could do, and he wowed the crowd at Sanford Stadium. So the combination of Fromm being disguised and Fields being unable to run means Coach Kirby Smart didn't want anything to get on tape for opposing defensive coordinators to use this offseason, which is probably smart. So Georgia, needless to say, had a big day. Big crowd there to watch it in between the hedges at Sanford Stadium in Athens. So, again, that's going to be a team you definitely have to reckon with in the East this year. I think they're all going to be better. Kentucky's going to be better. South Carolina, Muschamp contract extension, they're going to be better. He's had a good recruiting season for the Gamecocks. Of course, Tennessee, we hope, will be moving up as far as wins and having a much better season they've had the last couple. You also have the same, you look at Vanderbilt, who probably will be picked to finish in the bottom half of the conference division, or bottom half of the division, as will Missouri. But you take the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs and the Tennessee Vols and the Kentucky Wildcats and the South Carolina Gamecocks, that's pretty stout right there. And, of course, you throw in Vanderbilt and Missouri, who are having tough times in the program, but compared to the other guys. But, again, it's going to be a very, very interesting Eastern Division race, no question, for the Southeastern Conference when it lets go and gets going coming up later on in the year. We're live here again at the Will Graham Celebration headquarters. Again, coming up, let me run down the musical lineup for you. On Friday night, the Adoration Band and also Aaron Schust will be there at 7 o'clock on Friday night. On Saturday, one and one only, Crowder will be there. That's all you need. This guy rocks the house, and again, huge crowds wherever he goes. what a coup to get these folks to get Crowder in on Saturday night for the celebration at Freedom Hall then. And then on Sunday, you have, again, Aaron Schust and Ellie Holcomb. Also, the Moore Brothers Band, April Taylor Barnes and Jennifer Trent are some of the other musical guests. Those are some of the local folks, plus the gospel message from Will Graham each evening. Free admission. Doors open 60 minutes prior to the event. And so, again, it's a chance for you to get out there and check things out at Freedom Hall here in Johnson City, right up the road where we are. About, 5 minutes away to get to Freedom Hall from here. Again, the website, tcrcelebration.org. And again, this is the Will Graham celebration coming to town this weekend. We've been talking about this since January. We've been to the Cove, we've been here, and this is our second time in here. And so this is where it's all going to be happening starting Friday night, right up the road. Everything is free, again, for the Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon celebrations, and along with the Kids Fest on Saturday morning for the celebration put on by Will Graham. All right, let's take a look at college basketball. We got some issues, as Rush said, some issues about what's going on in college basketball. Here's some teams involved in the FBI investigation. Let's run these down for you. Arizona, we'll go alphabetically. Arizona, Sean Miller remains the coach of the program. His former assistant, longtime friend Book Richardson, was formally fired by the school back in January. Miller and his star freshman DeAndre Ayton, who has now said he's going to go on to play in the NBA, a subject of a story in February that cited sources familiar with the government's case who claimed Miller was caught on wiretap and discussed paying $100,000 to ensure Ayton attended Arizona. Miller has very much denied this report, set one game while the school reviewed the situation after the story came out. Ayton, who has declared for the NBA, did not miss a game for Arizona last season. And so Arizona, just like every school listed, has an uncertain future in regard to NCAA sanctions because the NCAA has not even begun to investigate any of these programs. The FBI has advised the NCAA to wait until the federal government's investigation is complete. So this thing is nowhere close to being done. So they have told them, just stay out of the way till we get done, you can start your investigation. So that's what the NCAA is doing. Auburn, Bruce Pearl appears to secure in his job for the time being as a new athletic director who has given Pearl a public endorsement. Former Auburn star, let me say it again, former Auburn star Chuck Person was fired from his post after being charged in the case. Pearl coached Auburn to a great year. The Tigers went 26-8, won the SEC regular season title, and so they lost two players last season to ineligibility due to the FBI probe, Daniel Purifoy and Austin Wiley. Wiley, who's considered a better prospect, is currently testing the NBA waters. Purifoy is eligible to play and says he will come back to Auburn next season. Kansas, the Jayhawks drawn into the case due to the superseding indictment that was published on April the 10th. So Kansas is in trouble with the NCAA and the FBI. Miami of Florida, again in trouble. The North Carolina State Wolfpack, Oklahoma State, the Cowboys. Won't read all these, but just to let you know, and also the Southern Cal Trojans. All these schools: Arizona, Auburn, Kansas, Louisville, Miami of Florida, North Carolina State, Oklahoma State, and Southern Cal, all in trouble with the FBI. And so we will see how this continues to unfold. You have the corruption, guys talking about getting anywhere from $13,000 to $100,000 to have. This is how it's working. This is the nutshell of it. All right, I'm a hot rod basketball prospect. Coaches come to me and say, hey, come play at pick a place. I graduated from Marshall. Come play at Marshall. We're going to give you $100,000 to play. And what you can do is once you get your big NBA contract, you can reimburse us. Or they ran it through the Adidas shoe company. That seems to be the shoe company that's been right in the middle of all this. So they came to me too and said, look, you wear Adidas while you're playing college, and while you're going on to play in the NBA, we're going to pay you to wear our shoes. And so here's a check for $100,000 and all the shoes you can possibly wear. And, you know, we have cases upon cases. Send to your friends and your brothers and sisters and whoever, kids back in your school where you graduated, wherever. Just put them out there in the pipeline, these Adidas shoes. We're going to pay you to do that. And then what we want you to do, once you get to the NBA and get that big-time contract, then you kind of come back and reimburse us for the money. That's kind of how it's working. That's kind of a watered-down version. So, again, DeAndre Ayton, according to, this guy was caught on wiretap. The coach for Arizona discussed paying $100,000, make sure he played at Arizona. So That was somebody saying, we'll stroke you a check, make sure he's playing for Arizona, and we're going to get you some money. And so the kid came. He's now said he's going to leave and go to the NBA after only one season. So you have all these different, well, there's a long list of what's going on here in the NCAA. But here's the key to this. The NCAA has not even begun to investigate any of these programs that is mentioned. The FBI has said just stay out. They being the NCAA, to wait until the federal government's investigation is complete, then you can have your turn. So you know that I would think NCAA is sharpening their knives to get ready for what should be a very long and very revealing investigation into these programs. And there's probably more than what's, in fact, I know there is. There's other schools that are being mentioned as well. So we have to stay tuned for that. We are live again here at the Will Graham Celebration headquarters in Johnson City. We've had Scott Emmerich on this morning. We've had Claudia Bird on just a few minutes ago. We got Haley Ware going to be joining us coming up here in a few minutes. So again, Saturday, everything is free for the kids. Claudia was here and did a phenomenal job as usual. Everything out on the parking lot of Freedom Hall is free from 9 till 10. And we take all the kids inside at 10:30 inside of Freedom Hall. There's a kids choir. There's a series of one-act plays you get a chance to hear and see. And then, of course, Will Graham will come out and give a devotion to the young people. And so everything will be done by right around 12 o'clock on Saturday. It's going to be a phenomenal day. And this is called Kids Fest, and it's all about reaching the gospel to the young people. But everything out on the parking lot, all the food's free, all the prizes are free, anything and everything going on at Freedom Hall is all being taken care of by the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association under the heading of Kids Fest. So there's absolutely no reason not to come out here Saturday and have a big time. Starting from 9 till 10 outside of the parking lot of Freedom Hall, Johnson City. Then I'll go inside at 10:30, and as I said, the kids choir and the one-act plays will be performed by the kids. They've been practicing for this, and of course, Will come out and give a message, and I'm sure there'll be an altar call. Should be. I know there will be. There's no question that'll happen. That's the whole point of reaching the gospel of these kids to make decisions for their lives. So all that's coming up again at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock on Saturday, Freedom Hall parking lot, and then it'll go inside Freedom Hall at 10 o'clock, and or rather 10:30, and begin the Kids Fest. So, and also the music coming up this weekend is phenomenal. Again, Aaron Schust is going to be here. What does it do with the Aaron Schust? Also, of course, you're going to have Crowder, which is the big draw for the kids. Crowder, this guy's a contemporary Christian artist, and he flat packs them in everywhere he goes. He'll be here. It's free Saturday night at 7 o'clock. We're going to be there for that one. And then also on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So it's 7 o'clock Friday, 7 o'clock Saturday, 4 o'clock on Sunday with music each night. Jennifer Trent's going to sing one of the particular services. Jennifer's from Kingsport. I've introduced her before in some different places where she sung, and man, you talking about can bring the house down. Goodness gracious. So she can flat shuck the corn. So as can April Taylor Barnes, and it's just going to be a very, very special 3 or 4 days. And if you've not planned to be there, here it is. If you've not planned to be there, again, the Adoration Band on Friday night at 7 o'clock, along with Aaron Schust. On Saturday, Crowder. As we said, on Sunday, Aaron Schust and Ellie Holcomb at 4 o'clock. And then also the Moore Brothers Band, April Taylor Barnes and Jennifer Trent, and some of the other folks musically going to be here. Again, it's all free. Hello, Bill Patrick. Hello, Miss Lambert. Hope you're having a good day as well. And so it's all going on again at Freedom Hall. I mean, it's going to be very important because there's going to be lots of folks making decisions for eternity. And so you got to make that decision, folks. I'm not going to get in here and I'll let Will Graham preach this week, but you got to make that decision. What are you going to do? You're going to either reject him or you're going to accept him. It's really pretty basic. Two choices here. Either yes, you're going to accept him and live for him. You're going to reject him and say no thanks, and the consequences are not good when you end this life and move on if you have rejected the gospel. I can tell you that. The book's full of references about hell, so you don't want that. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk NBA, the playoffs. How about my boys, the San Antonio Spurs? Kind of a last gasp, I think, but they're going to hang out and see if they can't make it happen one more time as they stay alive. We'll find out about that right after this from Max Medicine Mart, one of our great sponsors here on show number 732. Tomorrow we'll be at Phil's Dream Pit. Oh, baby. I'm going to flat slay the food there tomorrow when I get off there. Goodness. Love me some Phil's Dream Pit off the Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. Max Medicine Mart, Champion Chevrolet, Chick-fil-A. We'll hear from these folks, our great sponsors. We'll be right back with a look at the NBA here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
The savings continue the month of April at Max Medicine Mart in Kingsport. All natural factors, 20% off the entire month of April. Products like folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules to lose weight, vitamin B12, Stress Relax, which are tranquil sleep chewables, all 20% off the month of April. Easy Iron, niacin tablets, vitamin C, calcium, over 100 different supplements of natural factors, all 20% off the month of April. No coupons, no limits. A flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in April at Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max. Center Street in Kingsport, where natural factors are 20% off the month of April at Max Medicine Mart.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City's huge spring sale is in full swing. We have over 600 new Chevys to choose from with savings up to 20% off MSRP. 17 Silverado 1500, 20% off MSRP with over 200 in stock. 17 Silverado HD, 13% off MSRP. 2017 Equinox Trax and Malibu, 20% off MSRP. Don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours and shopping online 24/7. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
On the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live again here at the Will Graham headquarters in Johnson City. We have baseball today. We got it scheduled. I keep thinking we're going to cancel, but so far so good, so maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. But we have baseball scheduled at Unicoi County this evening for a big matchup between the number 1 team, the Unicoi County Blue Devils, number 3 team in the conference, the Elizabethton Cyclones. So we'll see if we've got it. I would have thought by now we'd have had it canceled with all the rain and the wind we've got, but maybe not. We'll see. So let's make the assumption we're going to do this at 6:45, 7 o'clock first pitch. So I don't know if that is what it is, and we'll see. Now, let's tell you about Food City real quick before we get into the NBA. They're doing a really cool thing. They're giving away $100,000 to charity. We're going to be there Friday. The brand new Food City, the Starbucks stores in the store at the state of Franklin. I don't know if you've been there. They've taken out the salad bar and put in a stores in a store. I mean, this thing is huge. A Starbucks inside of Food City. And so we'll be there again broadcasting live on Friday at Food City on the state of Franklin. And so get a chance to go in behind the counter and hang out at Starbucks a little while and I guess sample some of the drinks. I don't know. I guess I need to tell them myself. I don't know if I've ever been to Starbucks. Maybe one time, way back in the day. So I don't drink coffee, so it really hasn't flipped my trigger, but we're going to try it on Friday. Absolutely. We're going to be there trying the new store at State of Franklin in North Johnson City at Derek Atkinson's store. Anyway, Food City giving away $100,000. This is the way it works. You have 4 different geographic areas. So we're talking about the Tri-Cities here. They're going to be giving away. You vote on which charities get the money. You go online at foodcity.com. Here's the 10 charities to vote for here. There's 4 different geographic areas of Food City. Of course, they're in 4 states. So here are the charities they have picked for our neck of the woods. The winning charity who gets the most votes gets $12,500. The second most votes will get $7,500. And the third place charity will receive $5,000. And so this is going to be going on until June. Go to foodcity.com. Here are the 10 charities you can vote for here from the Tri-Cities region. The Donna Hope, the Johnson City affiliate, Mountain Mission School, Communities and Schools of Southwest Virginia, the Alzheimer's Association of Tennessee, Girls on the Run, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Tennessee, the Coalition for Kids, Abuse Alternatives, also United Way of Southwest Virginia, Speedway Children's Charities. Claudia was just here. That's one of the 10 charities that can get some money. And so there's the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, there they are. So again, it's in no particular order. The Donna Hope, Mountain Mission School, Communities and Schools of Southwest Virginia, Alzheimer's Association of Tennessee, Girls on the Run, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Tennessee, Coalition for Kids, Abuse Alternatives, United Way of Southwest Virginia, and Speedway Children's Charities. Out of those 10, the one that gets the most votes by you online will get $12,500. The second most popular will get $7,500, and the third place will get $5,000. So there you go. Those are the top charities. Go to foodcity.com. It's the 100th birthday, so in honor of that, Steve, we had him on the big screen up at the race a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about this, giving away $100,000 to charity, and so $25,000 to each geographic area. So again, out of those 10 here in Northeast Tennessee or the Tri-Cities region per se, the top charity will get $12,500 check. The second most popular charity by vote will get $7,500, and the third most popular will get $5,000. So we think that's very, very cool. And again, we salute the good folks at Food City. As I said earlier in the show, 4 organizations I work with, and anything they do, anytime, is first class. Food City, Bristol Motor Speedway, Chick-fil-A, blank, and the fourth one is this organization here. I mean, these folks know how to do it, the Will Graham Celebration. They have been first class from the get-go, and so hello, Ricky Walters, hello to Renee McNeil, hello to Scott Hyatt, hello to Bill Patrick. So Haley is here. Oh, yes, please bring him in. Thank you. And so we appreciate all you folks very much, and of course, appreciate Don. Don went with us yesterday, took some snaps, took some pictures when we spoke, and I appreciate that very much. She is a class act, no question. Very, very nice lady, and we appreciate her. Well, he's in the house. Come on in here, big guy. Now we've been talking about Tennessee football. This is the guy who can give you the update on the Hokies coming up here too. Let's get him on screen. He's here on behalf of the Will Graham Celebration, but this is a sports show. We could talk a little feet ball. And so let's get him on the screen here a little bit, and let's hit the magic camera. We normally have him with us when we're at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City, but there he is. Let's get him a little closer, make it look a little bit. There we go. There he is, Haley Weary with the Will Graham team. Good afternoon, my good friend. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Hokey, hokey, hokey.
Hi.
Hi.
Tech VPI. There you go.
Tech VPI. For me personally, that's no slight to any other stadium, but for me, a football game at Lane Stadium at nighttime, daytime's cool, but nighttime is just something about it. Those kids bouncing up and down the whole time, they're jumping the entire time, and it's a really, really cool setting. And you get up there as often as you can to watch the Hokies, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, what is your prognostication? How do they do in spring practice? How do things go?
We're all very, very young. I know the coach is very concerned just because of the youth of the team, and it seems like we've been young for the last 3 or 4 years, but. We didn't lose a lot of players in the graduation, so I'm thinking we're gonna have a decent year.
Mm-hmm. So got a tough schedule.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Notre Dame, don't you?
Notre Dame, but we have we have some good home games this year, so we have the home field advantage in some of the bigger opponents.
The Wahoos come to town this year, don't they? Don't they come back for the?
Yeah, but I was talking about serious opponents.
It runs deep. He's taking a little shot of the Cavaliers, who, by the way, wrap up their spring ball. They're one of the few teams still going, and they will wrap up spring practice this Saturday in Charlottesville. So, it's intense. Everybody thinks Tennessee, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, but if you get up to the Hokies, the most dreaded rivals in the Hokies schedule would be obviously Virginia. Who else?
Miami is another big rival. We always seem to beat each other when we shouldn't beat each other.
Yeah. So, Hokie high. So what's the other VT? What was it?
Tech VPI.
Tech VPI. Yep. So anyway, he is a big Hokie fan. He's also a big fan of the Will Graham Celebration. He's part of the team. On the screen we call it the Will Graham Leadership Team, which are volunteers here in Johnson City, the Tri-City. So you're in which capacity here to get this thing rolling this weekend?
I'm the student team leader.
Okay. Let's tell us all about it. Look in that camera and tell us about the student team leader. What's going on?
Well, we have a team. We have a team of people on the student team, but our goal is to promote and encourage people to come to the Saturday night event, which is the student event. Middle school, high school, and college students are the target for that event. We have David Crowder coming, which is an amazing thing to be able to have him come and host and lead worship. So it should be a really great night. I know a lot of youth groups, a lot of churches are coming and bringing people, and we want the students to bring their friends that don't know Christ.
That is the name of the game. This is a chance to have a good time, have a lot of fun, but they're going to present the gospel through Will Graham, and obviously we want folks, and they will, with an air of expectancy, there'll be folks, in this case young people, making decisions for the eternal salvation, correct?
Yes.
That's what we want. That's
I'd like
the
to
bottom
see
line.
Freedom Hall packed.
Yeah. Everything I'm hearing a lot of buzz about what's happening, so I don't know if it packs out. I guess there's an overflow possibility, but I do hear a lot of buzz about what's going to be happening. And again, they bring a musical talent in the magnitude of Crowder for free. I don't know what his tickets are in a regular concert, but it won't be free. And so what a chance to hear this guy perform for absolutely nothing except just coming to Freedom Hall on Saturday night. It starts at 7 o'clock. And so he is by himself on Friday night, the Adoration Band on Saturday, and also Aaron Schust. On Saturday, again, it'll be Crowder at 7 o'clock. So you deal with, in your day job, tell folks what your organization is you work with.
I work with a ministry called First Priority, and our goal is to unite churches around middle and high school campuses and empower their students to be evangelists on their middle and high schools. So the Will Graham celebration fits right into our vision. It's uniting the church and sharing the gospel with students.
And you know the importance, obviously, because you deal with them every day, of reaching young people. I mean, I don't know what the statistics are, but I know that I've read places over the years that, you know, by the time they're 18 or 19 years old, if you got to catch them then, because it gets increasingly tougher to have people to make a decision. So get them while they're young is kind of the mantra, and that's what you do every day. It's what you're working with these young people, right?
Yes, sir. The enemy knows that if you have the youth, you have the future, and so he's constantly berating this generation, and it's unbelievable the way that what they have to deal with and go through on a regular basis. But statistically, about 85% of everyone who ever accepts Christ as their Savior does so before they turn 18, and that number is progressively dropping. So it's more now like 16, where you get your driver's license, you typically leave church, and you typically have other things that occupy your mind. But the idea is, if you graduate high school, and especially if you graduate college, with whatever you believe in when you graduate, is probably what you're going to go to your grave with. So it's very important to reach them early.
Absolutely. So, having said that, look in that camera to those folks down on the other side of the camera and tell them why they need to be here. Young people or mamas and daddies, to bring the young people. Tell them why it's important to be here on Saturday night.
It's important for you to come on Saturday night and bring students, because they're going to hear the gospel. Hopefully they have been hearing you speak it as a parent, you speak it as friends, and been sharing the gospel. Sometimes it takes another avenue, another person saying it a different way for them to catch it. And one thing I know is, I'm sure you're praying over your students, you're praying over your friends, but this event has been massively prayed over. So we're really expecting God to do some amazing things. And I can think of a better way to expose a student to the gospel than to bring them to this event Saturday night. Hopefully they'll come in wanting to hear Crowder, but leaving praising Jesus.
There you go. Through the teachings of Will Graham.
Through the teaching of Will Graham, yes, sir.
We'll do a fantastic 3 nights. Of course, Friday night, a Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon here again at Freedom Hall. And it's all free. You can't beat it.
Oh, no.
No. So there's no reason not to be here. So
yeah, I've never heard Will Graham preach. I've heard him speak before. He's an amazing speaker, and I'm really excited to hear. I hear he's the caliber of his granddad preaching the gospel. So I never got to hear his granddad preach. It was one of my bucket list things. But so at least I can now say I can hear his son preach live.
Yep. And if you
grandson.
If you have not, you can go back and you can pick it up. You have to do some digging, but you can go back and pull his prayer that he gave before the Xfinity race 2 weeks ago at Bristol. It's incredible. I mean, in fact, I've never heard this before. Everybody's giving invocation up there, but I heard a chorus of, I mean, you could loud enough, everybody, I could hear it across the stands of amen when he got done. I've never heard that before when somebody did a prayer, but when he got done, you know, he said, in the Lord Jesus' name, amen, and everybody went, amen. And I thought, wow. I mean, you hear a few, but not like I heard up there when Will did it on Saturday with the Xfinity race. So it's all exciting now. Selfishly, before we get out of here, plug what you do during the when the Will Graham celebration is not in town. What do you do on your day job? Tell folks what you do. Look up there and talk about how you have students on your mind all the time.
Constantly desiring students to be reaching their schools, empowering students to share their gospel. We create student-led, or help students do this, create student-led evangelistic clubs at their schools. And they meet once a week before or after school to encourage one another in how to share the gospel, to encourage one another in overcoming obstacles in their way of sharing their faith, to share their personal testimonies and learn how to use that as a witnessing tool, and then equipping students to share the gospel. Last week, in one day, On Wednesday of last week, we had 24 students respond to the gospel at school when students shared with them last week. So,
really?
So we have one more cycle. It's a hope cycle, helping, overcoming, preparing, and engaging. So we have one more engaging week before the year's over to share the gospel with as many students as we can before they leave school.
24 just last week.
24. Well, that was just in one day last week.
Gosh,
on Wednesday.
that is awesome.
We're in anywhere from Southwest Virginia down into towards Knoxville in our region, and there are first priorities all over the country, but that's our region here in the Blue Ridge.
So how many schools are you in total?
We're in 15 currently, and we have a potential of launching in 5 more at least this fall.
That is high school, middle school, or both?
Middle school and high school.
Awesome. Man, keep it up.
And the students are the ones doing all the work. They're the ones sharing the gospel. They're the ones speaking and preaching and leading their friends to Christ. So it's not only is it a valuable and powerful evangelism tool, it's teaching students, it's discipling students, teaching them to be the evangelists.
So a kid will probably listen to a kid quicker than they'll listen to an adult.
Yep.
And you know that. So the stat again is 85% of kids or people who make decisions are reached before the age of 18.
Correct. And that statistic is slow. That's an older statistic. That number's coming down as the generation becomes more and more secular, as our culture becomes more and more secular.
We'll see you over there this weekend. It's going to be great.
Oh, yes. Looking forward to see you. Come find me. I'll be there.
Yeah, so. You will be there. Hokey.
Hi, Tech VPI.
I love that. I love this guy. We have him on all the time as much as I can. We got to get him back when he hasn't been on for a while. We usually have him at Chick-fil-A. We appreciate him very much. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll wrap things up. We'll give you the NBA schedule, what's going on in the NBA, and also, weather permitting, we got baseball tonight, the Cyclones in Unicoi County at Unicoi County, and also a full list of soccer and softball and baseball coming up next. Who's playing today? Who's scheduled to play? We'll find out right after this as we're going to wrap it up here at the Billy Graham. No, the Will Graham. See, he's got me thinking about Dr. Graham. The Will Graham Celebration Headquarters in Johnson City right after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Good man right there. Appreciate him very much. Again, there was the seat where he was occupied. Let's swap cameras and let's wrap this thing up here. We are a little bonus coverage. That's okay. The Will Graham Celebration headquarters in Johnson City. Let's run down the NBA from last night. My boys, the San Antonio Spurs, hung in there. They defeat Golden State in San Antonio without Popovich, who's still away because his wife passed away, and that's where he should be. I can't imagine coming back to coach a basketball team. You lose your wife of over 40 years. You lose your wife over 4 months, for that matter. So if you're in love with somebody, well, don't need to get into all that. So he missed a game, and so I understand that. San Antonio wins at 103-90. They now trail 3-1. And so also you have the series now tied at 2 apiece, and Milwaukee holds off the Celtics 104-102. Washington at home stopping the Toronto Raptors 106-98. That series now tied at 2 in the best of 7. And the Cavaliers come off the carpet, and they put 104-100 win over the Indiana Pacers in Indiana, and so LeBron and the boys now 2-2 on the best of 7 series there. Tonight, Houston plays in Minnesota. The Rockets lead that one best of 7, 2-1, and Oklahoma City will be in Utah. The Jazz lead that series 2-1. Here's the bracketing, by the way. The Pelicans, again, over the weekend, eliminated their oppositions, and they're now waiting for the winner of the Golden State-San Antonio series. Houston, Minnesota plays the winner of Oklahoma City and Utah. Toronto and Washington in the East will play the winner of the Cleveland-Indiana series in the next round, and Philadelphia, Miami will take on the winner of the Boston-Milwaukee series when those series wrap up in the best of 7. Again tonight, Houston at Minnesota and Oklahoma City at Utah. We'll tell you tomorrow when we're on the road at Phil's Dream Pit what's going on, what happened last night, tomorrow at the Phil's Dream Pit. So I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's great food at Phil's Dream Pit. They're closed on Mondays, by the way. Opening back up, they go Tuesday through Saturday. Can't wait. All right, let's run down what's going to be happening in baseball. See if these games get in tonight. 6 o'clock start, so we'll go on air at 5:45 unless we're told otherwise. 6 o'clock first pitch in Unicoi County. It'll be Elizabethton and Unicoi County. Big game in the Three Rivers Conference race. Other baseball games tonight. Science Hill at Volunteer. Dobbins, Minute, and Gray at Daniel Boone. Cherokee at Tennessee High. Happy Valley at Sullivan East. Sullivan South up on the mountain at Johnson County tonight. Unaka at University High, Mount Heritage, North Carolina, and Hampton, and Cloudland plays at Sullivan North. That's your baseball schedule for today. Again, everything that we've got starts either at 5 or 6 o'clock, including our game at 5:45 airtime. 6 o'clock first pitch, Elizabethton at Unicoi County. That's all in baseball. The standings real quick in baseball. Science Hill has won the Big 7. They're 10-0, 23-6. In second place, a three-way tie, Tennessee High, Dobbins, Minute, and Daniel Boone. Three Rivers Conference, Unicoi County and the Catbird seed for now. They're 9-1. East at 8-2. Cyclones have won 4 in a row. They're 16-5. They're red hot. They're 7-3. Hopefully that game will happen tonight. Again, the rematch will be tomorrow night in Elizabethton. Watauga Valley Conference, University High in first place at 8-0, and Unaka at 7-1. In Virginia, Cumberland District, East Side at 5-0 in first place, Twin Springs in second place at 4-1. In the Mountain 7 District, Abington on top of the leaderboard at 5-0. And John Battle in Central in second place at 3-1. In softball for today, Crockett's ladies play at Daniel Boone, Dobbins Minute at Cherokee, Volunteers Lady Falcons at Tennessee High, Happy Valley at Elizabethton, Sullivan Central's Lady Cougars, a 5 o'clock first pitch at Sullivan South. Nope, I'm reading the wrong ones. I am sorry. I read the wrong dates. Let me go back up here. Here's Mondays. Elizabethton at Science Hill at 4:30. You have Volunteers ladies at Daniel Boone at 4:30. Crockett's ladies at Dobbins Minute today at 4:30. Tennessee High at Sullivan East. And Johnson County at Unicoi County. All that's going on today, Monday, for your softball. Soccer today, you've got Hampton at Sullivan Central at 6 o'clock. And boys soccer's the Bulldogs and the Cougars at an animal game. We'll get with it at 6 o'clock from Sullivan Central High School. That's what's going on. Again, we've got a 6 o'clock first pitch, airtime 5:45 from Unicoi County High School this afternoon for Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Elizabethton. Hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Our guests today have been, and we appreciate these folks, Mike Hedrick, NASCAR Fans Reporter, joined us by phone from Northern Virginia. Also Scott Emmerich, and also Haley Wary and Claudia Bird in here from the leadership team, if you will, from the Will Graham Celebration, and we certainly appreciate those folks coming by here. Again, Kids Fest, I was ready to go out and jump on the inflatables after I heard from her and get a snow cone what they're going to have, and she was on fire. So was Haley, and so was Scott. We appreciate all three of these folks, and so It all gets started Friday night at 7 o'clock. The Adoration Band, again, at Freedom Hall, along with Aaron Schust. That's Friday night at 7. Saturday morning, again, the Kids Fest from 9 till 10 on the parking lot of Freedom Hall. Then all the kids go inside beginning at 10:30 until about noon and hear the kids choir, hear several one-act plays, and also hear the teaching, a quick devotion or a teaching from Will Graham. And then on Saturday night, Crowder's there at 7 o'clock at Freedom Hall. Then on Sunday, Ellie Holcomb, your singer, along with Aaron Schust. That'll be a 4 o'clock start. Again, also being featured the Moore Brothers Band, April Taylor Barnes, and Jennifer Trent. So it's going to be a very, very awesome 3 days. Major decision will be made for folks for eternal significance at this event. And so if you get a chance, be sure and stop by and check it out. Everything is free this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, again at Freedom Hall here in Johnson City. So, again, for Bob and the folks who brought us in here, thank you. Also, Darius Hensley came by. Thank you, Darius, for being on the show as well. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. We will rejoin you either tonight at 5:45 from Unicoi County High School or tomorrow from Phil's Dream Pit at the Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. The quest for perfect barbecue, and it's pretty dadgum good, I can tell you that. Whew, it's some good stuff. So either one of those or both, we'll join you either at 5:45 tonight or at 11 o'clock tomorrow from Phil's Dream Pit. So from the Will Graham headquarters in Johnson City, this is Tom Taylor telling you as always, we wrap up show number 732 by simply telling you, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.